The wise man. To understand the 16 human natures, first you need to understand the 16 related Sino-Vietnamese terms. I will explain in simple terms for you to grasp easily. Admission is receiving, taking in. When imagining the past, it is remembering. When imagining the present, it is imagining. When imagining the future, it is contemplating. Action can be understood as endeavor. Here it means projecting. Conscience means knowing. Awareness, knowledge. Prosperity is understood as money or talent. Beauty is physical beauty or looks. Fame is renown. Eating is consumption. Resting is sleeping, relaxing. Greed is desire. Anger is ire. Delusion is misconception. Arrogance is superiority. Skepticism is suspicion. Evil is cruelty. Bias is stubbornness. 3 electromagnetic masses are inside us: bad karma, good karma, and radiant karma. Bad karma, also called negative electromagnetic mass, is created by making others suffer and is contained in the human nature shell. When this bad karma mass initiates, one's life will encounter many undesirable things. Good karma, also called positive electromagnetic mass, is accumulated by making others happy and is contained in the true nature shell. When the good karma mass initiates, one's life will encounter many desirable things. Radiant karma, also called balanced electromagnetic mass, electromagnetic aura, is accumulated through helping others raise their inner awareness and wisdom level and is contained in the true nature shell. When the radiant karma mass initiates, it helps balance one's life and open wisdom. At the same time, total karma is also stored in the unconscious of man. There is total karmic knowledge, total of all understanding in the innumerable lifetimes of a person, total karmic affinity, total of all connections with a person in their innumerable lifetimes, and total karmic result, total of all life results in the innumerable lifetimes of a person. In your opinion, do people have a destiny? The girl. Yes, they do. Everyone born already has a prearranged destiny. The wise man smiles. The essence of man has no destiny, but we humans have karmic destiny due to total karma deciding where we are born, who our parents are, and what the results of our life today are like. When people do not think, their lives are decided by total karma. But when people think, their lives are still decided by total karma, but have the right to choose the total karma as desired. Can you imagine choosing your own parents? The girl. No, I can't. The wise man. A person's total karma will determine their connections and life results, and only those life results fit that total karma. Different results will not fit the total karma accumulated over many past lives. Different parents or husbands or children could not produce your life results today, so total karma predetermined these things. Understanding this, people will stop blaming others, because through total karma, we decided to choose this life. The girl. Yes, I understand. Thank you. The wise man. To help you reach a deeper understanding, I will share with you the yin and yang fluctuation range of human nature. Look at the picture. Greed means desire, but we must understand the nature of greed. The negative boundary of the nature of greed is selfishness, desire for oneself alone. The positive boundary is generosity, desire for another entity. Anger means ire, but we must understand the nature of anger. The negative boundary of the nature of anger is wrath. The positive boundary of the nature of anger is satisfaction. Greed, negative. Selfishness. Greed, positive. Generosity. Anger, negative. Wrath, anger, positive. Satisfaction. Delusion, negative. Foolishness, delusion, positive. Clarity, arrogance, negative. Inferiority, arrogance, positive. Pride, skepticism, negative. Doubt, skepticism, positive. Trust, evil, negative. Cruelty, evil, positive. Benevolence, bias, negative. Stubbornness, bias, positive. Acceptance. If delusion is understood as misconception, we must understand delusion as follows. At the negative amplitude of delusion is foolishness. At the positive amplitude of delusion is clarity. Arrogance is understood as superiority, but we must understand the nature of arrogance. At the negative amplitude of arrogance is inferiority. At the positive amplitude of arrogance is pride. Skepticism is understood as suspicion, but we must understand the nature of skepticism. At the negative amplitude of skepticism is doubt. At the positive amplitude of skepticism is trust. Evil is understood as brutality, but we must understand the nature of evil. At the negative amplitude of evil is cruelty. At the positive amplitude of evil is benevolence. Bias is understood as prejudice, but we must understand the nature of bias. At the negative amplitude of bias is stubbornness. At the positive amplitude of bias is acceptance. The complexity of greed and imagination are the focus of human nature. Different levels of prosperity, beauty, fame, eating, and resting determine a person's character. For example, a person who craves and perceives prosperity in a positive direction can be understood as someone who wants money to help others. So it can be said that such a person is generous with money and possessions. Craving for prosperity in a negative direction is the desire to have money only for oneself, and it can be said that such a person is greedy for money and possessions. A person who craves and perceives beauty in a positive direction, simply put, hopes to enhance the beauty of others, while those who crave beauty in a negative direction only beautify themselves. A person who craves and perceives fame in a positive direction, simply put, will help others gain fame, while those who crave fame in a negative direction will only pursue how to gain fame for themselves. A person who craves and perceives eating in a positive direction, simply put, has a desire to provide delicious food to others, while those who crave food in a negative direction will only pursue how to get delicious food for themselves. A person who craves and perceives resting in a positive direction, simply put, has a desire to help others rest well, while those who crave in a negative direction will only pursue how to get good rest for themselves. The girl. It seems that craving for prosperity, beauty, fame, eating, and resting in a negative direction makes it easy to become selfish, only thinking for oneself, right? The wise man. In fact, it is best to achieve balance, because too much positive can turn negative, and too much negative can also turn positive. The girl. Please guide me more. The wise man. For example, someone with a craving nature for prosperity, beauty, fame, eating, and resting in a positive direction will always be generous in helping others. If not careful, they will become arrogant. One day, when craving and perception of prosperity, beauty, fame, eating, and resting for themselves are not as they wish, they will become resentful and may no longer be generous to others, only thinking of themselves. On the other hand, when craving and perceiving prosperity, beauty, fame, eating, and resting in a negative direction, they only want to get many things for themselves. At some point, they will realize that only when they are truly generous with others will they be able to obtain their desires. The girl. I understand human nature. So how can I understand human nature and still have a state of satisfaction? The wise man. Greed and imagination are the focus of human nature. However, you need to be clear about your own desires. When you know your desires and satisfy those desires, or in other words, satisfy your craving and perception for what you desire, the state of inner satisfaction will appear. This is happiness that arises from pleasure, also known as momentary happiness. In addition, the state of inner satisfaction is also built when we proactively stop craving and perceiving what we desire. This is the happiness that serenity brings. The girl. Can you give me examples to help me understand better? The wise man. First, I will help you distinguish the concept of satisfaction from pleasure. If I give you a gift, what gift would you like? The girl. Wow, I'm so surprised by the question. I haven't thought of any gift yet. The wise man. Do you need a nice house? The girl. Yes, my dream is to own a villa. The wise man. So your true craving and perception is for a villa? The girl. Yes. The wise man. Allow me to clarify that craving and perception of yours. How big of a villa do you want? Where? What special things do you need in the villa? The girl. I want it to be 500 square meters, in the city center, with 5 bedrooms, a reading room, gym, meditation room, and a garden full of roses. Thinking about caring for the roses every morning, watching the dewdrops on the flowers, I feel overwhelmed with happiness. The wise man. How would you feel if you owned that villa next year? The girl. Oh, that would make me so happy. The wise man. Why would you feel happy? The girl. Because my dream came true. Is it because deep down, my inner self has satisfied prosperity, beauty, fame, eating, and resting? The wise man. That's right. It's because your inner self has satisfied the craving and perception. Satisfying the craving and perception for prosperity, beauty, fame, eating, and resting is the feeling of inner satisfaction from pleasure. After owning the villa of your dreams, how long do you think you will be happy? The girl laughs. Probably half a year. The wise man. What dream will you pursue after that? The wise man. Throughout their lives, people usually pursue feelings of inner satisfaction through pleasure. You want to help people also satisfy happiness for themselves. If you do not have complete serenity and happiness at this moment, you will not have that state even if you later own the villa of your dreams. So you need to know when to stop craving and perceiving in order to expect complete serenity and happiness. The girl. Can you clarify that for me? The wise man. When people stop craving and perceiving, the natures of greed, anger, delusion, arrogance, skepticism, evil, and bias will not arise, but satisfaction will arise. The following example will make it clearer. Your husband comes home late from drinking, and you start imagining this and that. Women especially tend to think of their husbands having someone else. Then your craving arises. You want your husband only for yourself. You want to possess and control, not to share with others. At this point, your craving and perception strongly arise. So when your husband walks in the door without saying anything, your anger starts to flare up and a fiery fight ensues between you two. But when your craving and perception stop, meaning you know your husband is out drinking late, you don't think, don't crave, don't perceive. At that time, your mind will not be chaotic and a state of satisfaction will arise. The girl. It's so simple to find happiness. As you shared, does living in the present moment mean stop craving and perceiving? The wise man. That's right.